We're going.
What?
Okay, well now it's
Welcome down.
yeah, now it's working.
Oh my God! Well, you turned off the fan, and then the audio went with it. It was amazing.
It might have been because the fan was off. It might have been it trying to cut out the noise gate.
From the fan.
Yeah, so I think we're good. I think we're good.
Hey.
It went out again. It literally. No, it was just.
Oh no! I've got a green.
Okay. I think that might be
Here are
busted.
all the secrets from Perilous. We're ready for them?
I'm gonna
First,
double check this real quick.
once more. It's a finger tapping video. Super blue tonight. Let's go. Let's get.
Okay, try talking again.
Testing. Do we have some audio?
You saying looks okay? That's a bit better. Sibilance.
Sibilance.
Okay, and like it seems like my mic is working perfectly fine.
Testing. Woo!
New backdrop. It's actually an old backdrop. Mine is perfectly fine. The quieter Nate is, the better.
What? Oh, that's gonna be a challenge. You know, that's my weakness. Quiet. Something's amiss. Is Toby's mic muted?
Toby's mic is muted. Nate sounds like he's blowing out his mic. Okay, let me turn this all the way down. Try talking.
Testing. We're gonna talk. Maybe I'll talk a little louder. Maybe I'll talk a little quieter. Maybe we'll tell you all the secrets of Perilous. We never know. Anything could happen.
He sounds better on your mic. And gone again.
Oh boy.
Why is this going out every time we launch? Saturating as soon as he gets even a little loud.
It's responding to my audio somehow, not in a good way.
All right, I'm going to switch to the overhead. Okay, try talking here.
Test. We are on and the audio gods are very unhappy. I don't know what we did to displease them. Maybe it's when we said.
Is Nate's even on? It is. Nate has gone silent. You can't hear Nate at all right now because it's showing as audio outputting. That's good now. You're saying it's good now.
Is this good? Testing.
Very quiet compared to me. Okay. Are we picking up on the? Can you hear him really low? I'm gonna set up this.
Is there still a fan going?
No, there's no fan going.
What am I hearing? Oh, it's outside.
It's picking up on a different mic better than it was. It is picking up on a different mic.
No, got out.
You can only hear from Chris's side.
Oh my goodness.
I'm gonna set up the.
Now we're swapped.
Now you've swapped? Yeah, I switched. All right, I'm turning my mic back on. I was trying to set his audio for that. How does this sound currently?
Guess what? We're having tech problems. Technical difficulties. Who would have guessed?
Chris sounds away. Nate is fine. Chris is
now okay. So whatever you change.
Now that I've turned mine on to Chris's, but now I'm echoing. I'm going to set up a second mic for you.
Wait, Nate is back. Verx, only one works at a time? Very low. Oh, man.
Okay, let's do...
There are no technical difficulties. Hey, Chuck. I know it's a shock, right?
Best configuration so far. All right, take it.
This works? Okay. While that happens then, I'm going to go set up a second mic.
Good thing. Oh yeah, we're gonna have a surprise special guest. You don't know what's gonna happen. Yeah, don't change. All right, so we're episode 178. We are here. We're excited to hear from you. Hop in the chat. If you're new, feel free to hop in. Obviously, you're welcome to lurk. Just be nice. We are tonight. We're gonna look at ice pieces. We started 2 weeks back. We were looking at some ice mocks, so we have some developments there. So you get to kind of see the process. It's gonna be fun, I think. Watching the life cycle of a piece as we go from mock to sculpt to print to paint. You get to see the whole kit and caboodle. And we're gonna give away $50 in the middle. $50 Dwarven Forge gift card, somewhere around the halfway point. You have to keep your ear out for the secret word. I can't tell you what it is because it's secret and we don't know yet. We haven't figured it out. You're testing. You're tempting the fan gods.
He won't turn off. I'm just gonna unplug him.
The fan won't turn off.
He wasn't fully off.
Weird. Ice on the beach. Exactly. Yeah, it's gonna be a surprise for everybody. Second microphone. We don't have a ton of new news. We'll have a little bit of news for you, and mostly I'm excited to. I don't know exactly what we're gonna do with all the ice, so it's always kind of fun to explore and see where it lands. Do you want me to do news?
Yeah, I can. Yes.
Just go to the webcam. They can see you fighting with C-stands and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. You want to go to news? News.
It's the news. It's the news. Oh, we forgot our icy beverages. Jeez, the wheels. Right. Have the wheels ever been on the bus? That's the question. That's going off the bus.
Yeah, they used to be.
We didn't get the backdrop all the way to the top.
Yeah,
it's good. All right, so in the news, I'm going to go into all sorts of random order because I don't have the list in front of me. But Dungeons Reforged has shipped. Everybody should have gotten your stuff, or at the very least gotten a shipping notice. I think at this point you should have gotten your stuff. Maybe if you're if you're overseas or something. Did anybody not get their stuff? If you did, it means you either didn't give us your shipping info, or you didn't choose your treasure chest, or you asked us to hold it. Blowing out the mic? Oh no.
Blowing out the mic.
Episode 1, we didn't have tech issues. The wheels were still on the bus. Maybe it was just on the news. So if you didn't get your stuff, let us know. More importantly, if you have any problems with your stuff, please email customer support. We're gathering up a list of folks who have problems while we prepare for replacements. It's going to be a slow process because the factory just started back up, and we've got a bunch of stuff to figure out. But if you have some issues with pieces, please write in to customer support at dwarvenforge.com so we can get you on replacements list.
You did replacements. You did.
I did Dungeons. Oh, and the filters are going out.
Yes, intentional filters had to be resized to, to actually fit the, had to be resized to fit the dread pedestal mostly, and those should now, I know a lot of people have gotten them already.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
If you haven't, they're en route.
Yeah.
Woo! Other bits of news. We're going to be at Adepticon in 2 weeks?
Yes. We leave in
the 23rd.
Just under 2 weeks. Oh my god.
It's coming fast. So it is, we will be, it's Wednesday through Sunday, the 25th, in Milwaukee. You should come check it out. If you've watched the show, we rave about Adepticon. It really is. It's a really special convention. It really has a lot of heart. There's so much cool. If you're into miniature terrain, there's a lot of fun stuff to look at there. A lot of cool minis, a lot of cool terrain, a lot of cool paints and basing bits and static grass and just, if nothing else, just the creativity to be inspired by all the things people are making. There's so many cool boards that people have made and little conversions they've done for their minis or just paint jobs or whatever. Like it's like the craftiest of all conventions. And it is free to go in. You don't need to have a badge to go in and check out the exhibitor hall. You need a badge if you want to go to any of the classes. There are amazing paint classes if you want to go participate in any of the tournaments and the like. But you can come on in, wander around. You can check out the Golden Demon cabinets. There's unbelievably painted miniatures. Like, it's really I highly recommend. And you can't beat the price of free. Like, it's really, of course, that's just more money you'll end up spending in the vendor hall. But you know, what are you gonna do? As there are a lot of lots of really cool stuff to see there, and a lot of neat. Just I don't know. Every year I see something I haven't seen before. It's very fun. And I think we're booth 605, 604.
Oh, something like that.
Yeah.
We'll be posting it.
It's in the brochure. I think it's 605.
It won't be hard to find. It's a pretty small.
Yeah.
It's
I mean,
pretty
compared to
small.
Gen Con, it feels, yes, very small. But it's like 12,000 people or something. It's legit.
True. Small is very relative. It's the smallest one we go to, but like,
Yeah.
just because we generally go to big ones.
Get bang for our buck. Good. What else was on the news list? We have a restock coming in early April. There you can check it out on the site. You can wish list the stuff. It's up in the restocks tab under shop all. There's castle reconfigs, the entrance riser and ice. I don't know, there's a bunch of hits in there. And it's our first restock in a long time, so it's kind of exciting to see some fresh stuff in the store.
Okay. Let's try something real quick.
Testing. Also in the news, new microphone has just been set up.
Yeah, I need to still set its gain and things. Let me go check it.
Check. Is it coming in?
Is it picking up on this? It is picking up. Okay.
Boom.
So let's get it.
Cranked up to Toby level.
Yeah, I'm gonna turn it up.
Super secret surprise guest level.
Gonna turn it up so it's louder. Okay. I think mine is pretty good. You go ahead and talk.
Testing. New mic. Does it work? How excited are we? A wild microphone is good.
I'm gonna boost it a bit more. Okay.
Dragos is right. It is a very good fit. Adepticon's a good fit for us. We don't have to explain what terrain is to anybody. They already know. And they can appreciate stuff that is super durable, super modular, and pre-painted, because lots of people have built terrain out of foam or who knows what, and beaten and battered it. So it's awesome. Yeah. It's helping my levels too.
All right. We should be good.
Yahoo! So we did Dungeons Reforged. Check.
Did we talk about both aspects of Dungeons Reforged? We talked about the filters going out.
Replacements,
we talked about it in store.
filters,
Did we tell people
in
to
store.
contact
customer support if you have any
support.
trouble.
Okay.
Don't be shy. Contact customer support.
Nate is still peaking the mic? Okay,
Huh.
let me turn that down, I guess. I will try to I'll just be balancing him over time as we're here.
You know, the backdrop does look like a green screen, but it is not. It's a legitimate this is a design.
Okay.
Yeah. Analog.
Not so many woos. Okay, it does blow out when you do that. Oh, what did you hit things? I'm gonna turn off, just in case we're getting interference from the lavs. I'm gonna go ahead and just turn them off.
Just kill the lav. Bunny's in the house.
They should be muted, but I'm gonna just kill the signal. Okay.
What else we have?
Um.
Set in piece database.
Yeah.
on
piece database. So, hey, some of you might have realized that we were having issues with the set piece database just kind of going down every now and then. That was because we were using a third-party application for it, whatever you want to call that. And we're not doing that anymore. It is now actually hosted on the Dwarven Forge website itself. So it functions a lot better now.
It functions.
It functions.
The
it
end.
functions. Period.
Yeah.
It's a lot more reliable now, and you don't have to go to a separate site now to just kind of see like what pieces are in what sets. If you click on a set, you will basically see underneath the description a thing that says view how many pieces are included. You click on that, it takes you right into a list of the database. You can see every individual piece. Then when you click on either of those individual pieces, it will take you into the database proper. It'll show you every set that piece shows up in.
Cool.
It's pretty flexible. I think it's much easier to use than the old one, and it's more reliable. So all in all, I think it's just a big improvement. Something that Letitia and Luke have been working on for a while. Glad to have that.
Yeah, it's
going.
been cooking for a bit.
Yeah.
How did Shadow Dark go, Drogus? Ogre's here.
Let's see.
Wait, Ogre, are you the same Ogre from Spiel?
That would make sense. Ogre
gotta
is,
be, right?
Yeah, Ogre's over there.
And is a long time, like way old school. Ogre's AD&D, like of the AD&D of Dwarven Forge.
Yeah.
Whatever that is.
We did all the Dungeons Reforged. We did the Piece Database. We talked about Adepticon. You mentioned the restock coming. The only thing I have that's on here is Caverns. Caverns Reforged is
Surprise!
happening. Yeah, we talked about it a little bit last week. We still don't have a ton concrete that we can say about it. It is something we are still quantifying. That is going to be happening very soon before Perilous. Perilous needed a little more time, so we are doing Caverns Reforged in the meantime. It is not going to be on the scale of like Dungeons Reforged or Cities Reforged. We're not making any new pieces. We are, however,
Technically,
no new sculpts. That's what I should say. No new sculpts, but we're looking at no new molds, no new sculpts. We are just looking at kind of completing kind of some missing offerings there, doing like ice versions of things that we've never done in ice.
Sinister
Caverns.
Caverns.
Sinister Caverns, yeah.
Yep.
It's going to be much closer to Wildlands Reforged, but will, in a sense, have more new things than Wildlands Reforged had because it's going to have some new paint. That's basically it.
Oh. And right now, we penciled in May 19th to launch.
Yes.
We'll see.
Yeah. Yes, getting chase pieces easier. So some of like the shamanic dressing, for example, that altar stuff that you haven't been able to get outside of adventure packs. It's freeing that stuff up. It's doing ice and Underdoom versions of building pieces that haven't been available. All that jazz. That's the main focus. Yeah.
No current plans for transparent casting. That's a whole pain in the butt.
Yeah, getting into So we're not planning on doing Hellscape either for that reason.
All the same casting color. Underdoom, Ice, and Standard all are in the same casting color, so it's much easier for our production runs.
Yeah. Missed the date? I think it's May 19th.
May 19th is
Late-ish mid-May, basically. Yeah.
You can take bets on are we going to hit it or not? Yeah. What's the over-under? I don't know.
Yeah.
How does the over-under even work? How does that...
Yeah, we'll have more.
The year wasn't specified.
We'll have more concrete stuff to say on it later, but we're still we're still cooking on putting the whole thing together.
It's fresh off the fresh on the oven, on the anvil. It's the iron is hot.
Yes, it's fresh on the anvil.
Wyverstone and Underdoom. Ooh, I'll take the over. There is no under.
Ice escarpment.
Amy believes. She says 20.
We're skipping ice cave cliffs and going straight to escarpments.
Right? Just go to the big boys.
Yeah.
Love it.
I think that is all the news that's fit to speak.
Oh, and Commerce Demon said they'd hold all the money for us. So everybody just send your bets to Commerce Demon. Nice. It's great. Totally legit.
Payment processing is really difficult. So yeah, if you'll
cash.
Yeah, if you'll handle all that for us.
Yeah. Be terrific.
That's the hardest part. Okay, I think we're good to move on.
Yeah. All right. Are we ready for the main event, or it's an event at least?
Yes.
All right. So, last week we had Eli on here. How fun was that? Like getting to kind of see him push some clay around in real time, getting to hear about his process and how he approaches creativity and sculpting. Like always a good time. Before that, the week before that, we were looking at the ice family for Perilous Frontiers, and I thought we could continue that journey on ice. So let's go into the close-up cam. We'll refresh where we were. So last we left our intrepid viewers, intrepeds. We were working on an ice floe family, right? So it was a small, a medium, a large. The intention here was that these would be cast in clear, something just for Arctic. So many of the pieces in Perilous Frontiers. I didn't give the Perilous preamble. Perilous Frontiers, upcoming project for later this year. We will be exploring Arctic and desert wastelands, right? So sand and snow. The drivers, a lot of the core pieces from that collection will appear both in Arctic and desert paint because sand and snow look awfully similar, particularly when sculpted that way. However, there will be some specifics that appear only in each biome. One example will be ice in the Arctic, because we want to make sure each biome needs to have its own very distinct identity, right? It needs to really do its thing. So we're working on a family of ice. So it was a mixture of ice floes and ice chunks. Do you know the fun fact about ice floes that we learned? Is that there are ice floes and there are ice floes. There are ice floes spelled Flow and
Yes.
ice flow spelled Floe.
Yes.
And they're the same thing. It's just which type of water they formed in. And that just is so confusing.
That's
Yes. Like, anyway, these are ice flows. We're going to go OE because it sounds cooler. The intention is these will be cast in clear. And part of the fun is they're going to be an extension of the ice wall family, originally from Cavern Steep. FLO. Yeah, it's a salt and freshwater thing. Yeah, we'll be selling both flows and flows. Totally. It costs more for the flows though than just the flows.
it's the same sculpt with a different markup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta pay extra for the W. So the intention is these will be cast in clear, so it'll be one of the right. So there'll be enough stuff to do a run, and there will be an extension of this family, so you can build on that if you already have that ice flow from Progressive. So we have the chunks, and we had these flows. We were looking at sort of adjusting these flows 2 weeks back, and where we were was. This was so we were just started with cutting foam on the large guy. This is where the large guy was turning into last we left our Intrepid Adventurers. But there were two problems. One, it was getting a little large, and two is it didn't, like, the profile didn't feel super icy yet. So, and this is a great example of a creative process where you will often iterate, and like sometimes something doesn't work, but you take something, you learn from that, and you iterate again until you get a thing and adjust. So one of the things that came up on the stream a bunch, and everybody was excited about, myself included, was the idea of the pieces being able to kind of nest together so you could break them apart, or if the players are on them and then it breaks, or you can make bigger ice flows that way or whatnot. So thinking about that, I went and did another round, and let's see who can. Oh, if you go out, zoom out a little bit to see. All right, can you tell what the secret sauce is here? Hang on.
Blue.
Yeah. All right. So, and I'll hold them up one at a time so you can sort of see. So there's something very specific that's the secret sauce that I figured out. So that's the small guy. This is the medium guy, and this is the large guy. So can anybody see some geometric secret sauce? Square root.
Is that like
Good
the
guess.
logo being like rubbed out?
Yeah,
or
I
something?
scratched it off because it annoyed me.
Okay. It's like that's a weird texture.
So they are flows. Ice puns. What about sharper angles like this from the chasm? So Dave Moffat, we're gonna look at the sculpts. We'll get there in a sec. You'll be excited. Plus one for modularity, love the ice, floor height, square root, layers, biscuit wool, large flows, new elevation, figure perches. They stackable. Still not it, but those are all. Yes, there is the layers are a little more defined. There's some more thought about playable space, right? Where can you get minis, particularly on the layers up higher in the stacking. So nesting, you're onto something. Who just said nesting? Savalonglitz? I don't know how to say. How do I say that?
I think it's Sava Longlets.
Savalonglitz. So
I think.
they support typical size for other pieces. Yes, yes, and yes. But the secret sauce, I'll give you a clue. You ready? 60 degrees. So 60 degrees.
That's way too warm for ice.
Yeah, it's all melting.
Yeah.
You have numbers and they match. Yeah, 60 degrees is the secret to this new design. 60 degrees is where everything happens. It's the Pythagorean. It's clearly all Pythagorean. So the driver there is that if we have at least an outside and inside 60-degree angle on each piece, then they're sort of infinitely tileable. They're the shapes of the ice floes from Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Also a good guess. So, for instance, if we know this cutout is 60 degrees, and the back of this guy is 60 degrees, so this nests, and then conveniently the front of this is 60 degrees, so then you could do the same thing with either another one of these or anything. Any of the 60s can nest like that. But you can also, because it's 60 degrees, you can have three of them meet. So if this is 60 degrees here and this is 60 degrees here, then you take the 60 over here and they all line up, right? So you turn it up to 70.
Well, it still looks a lot more organic than if they were 90 degrees.
Yeah, well, 90 just looks, to your eye, looks too perfect. But 60 degrees, you don't somehow notice that ratio. 180 degrees. These are probably not going to have... they are 60 degrees, Mad Roboticist. The angle is... It is 60 degrees on the inside, so that's whatever it is on the outside, 180? No, it's 360? Right?
If you're talking about like what the angle is,
whole circle is 360, so that's 300 degrees set there. This is 60. This is 60 on here. They are, who did the math? Yeah, I use a protractor.
It's 120 inside, 240 outside.
Okay.
Oh yeah, it is over 90 degrees. Yeah.
It's 60 off of, yeah, you're right. You 67 degrees, the kids would go nuts.
Basically just cut it in half. You're just simplifying.
It's
really,
the hexagon.
Really, it's 30 degrees when you think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. The whole thing is 90 plus the but it came from the drift zones, which we'll show you in a sec. 120, 240. Yeah, the double 260s. You're right. It's 60 degrees was for the hexagon, and it's two sides of the hexagon, so it's 120. It's magic. Yeah. Shorthanding the you're 100% right. It's 240 and 120. But so three of them then get together to get you 360, right? Because you need 120, 120, 120. Anyway, the moral story is you can sort of nest them infinitely with each other using the sympathetic angles, And then you have a whole bunch of different fun building options, as well as they play with. Well, we'll show you all the other bits too, but I'll give you a little tease of, because we haven't shown these yet, right? The new drift stones. Yeah,
we've definitely shown some, right?
I don't know, but so so this was Eli was exploring infinitely tieable drift stones, and then handed them off to Toby, and Toby sort of locked this down. So that's where the magic 60 or whatever 120, right? Two 60s to get you 120. The magic angle came from something like that. So these will be able to, they'll be able to nest in all sorts of fun ways that we have yet to fully explore. All right, so let's that is a spiky piece. Now this we'll go into this later, because want to show you the life cycle, right? So this was 2 weeks back. Now it's already gone to clay, and we got Toby is here to show you where it's headed. Wow them.
He just left.
Ships to. He's grabbing the.
He was standing here, and then he just left. Nesting dungeon diagonals that are 60 degrees. Do we have anything that is 60 degrees?
One of these cut in half.
Yeah. I don't think we've ever done 60.
No, something. Yeah, I can't measure, but I can. Bring it in. All right, so there's proof of concept. We're starting with this guy. Come on over to my right here. Pop it in. Slide her in. So we got a Toby here.
Hello.
Everybody. All right, so. All right, so what? So you got this. You got a big piece of foam.
Yep.
When you have to go there, how do you get from A to B?
So yeah,
Or do you want to show this first? Do you want to talk about this first? How do you want?
I guess I'll show this first. Last week, when it was last week, right?
Yeah.
It was,
And it all blurs.
Yeah. Last weekend, while I was down here, we did a little bit of exploration of what the ice flows might look like, because we want to do it the texture and like the sculpting style in a different way than we've done past, because everything we've done so far has been like, icy rock.
Yeah.
So we're exploring
And very much rock first.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, yeah.
So we're trying to explore what ice would be like and trying to completely differentiate it from rocks and stuff like that. So both tried sculpting out some a little bit. And what we came to was basically make it a lot more like like jagged and like how, in a way, how rocks won't crack. These are like like we were like looking at different pictures of ice flows and ice. I guess they're both flows because there's 2 different.
Yeah, we talk about the flow and the flow.
Yeah.
So basically, inspired looking at actual ice flows and what how they crack and how the lines are different from rock, and trying to figure out how the texture is different from rock, and so make sure that it'll feel like we want it to feel. It doesn't want to feel like just clear rock. It wants to feel like actual ice.
Yeah. So like, we want to go with something like the shapes, something more like this, where it's like just a sheet of ice, just like broken in many ways, just like floating and stacked together almost.
Very angular.
Yeah, to get like, basically layers of ice like stack up. You get a sense of depth and stuff like that, and also some cracks like you see over here, where like a big sheet of ice like have to get like a curved crack that you really don't get in rocks.
And that feeling of like it's clearly that's a smaller piece that's broken off of a larger piece.
Exactly.
So,
yeah.
Will the ice flows shrink by 30% by the time they get to the customer?
Yeah.
So then, based on those tests, then how did you translate this into that?
Yeah. So I just started sculpting this today, so it's like really rest. I'm still like exploring a little bit, trying to.
We thought it would be
take-
fun to kind of just show, like, really, like, just hot off the presses, like, this is the process, like, kind of day by day or week by week.
Yeah.
So it is live, raw.
Yep. So yeah, basically, I was trying to take this geometry and apply, these rock cracks and trying to get like different levels in there as well. Like this, you already talked about how it has the different level, the layers, right? Essentially.
Yeah, it didn't go into too
Yeah.
much depth, but
So yeah, the main one, which will be at 8 millimeters. Yeah, basically it's mostly takes up most of the space, but yeah, some of the ice pieces are like some places they're like further apart from each other. Some place has you can see the layer underneath, and I thought that would be really interesting. Especially if it's a clear piece with like light from coming from the bottom and stuff like that. If you choose to do so.
yep.
Yeah, and then like this layer is lower. But this was what I was exploring just like right before this essentially because if it's a more elevated piece, I don't want to just like it needs to feel a little bit different than this. So like I'm still not sure about this, but right now I have it so that you can see like the ice like stacked on top, and you see the piece of ice like angled off and like laying onto the lower levels.
Yeah, you can see how that like cracked
Yeah.
and collapsed.
Yeah, and then try to get some interesting like steps for the different.
What's the same process that Eli has of figuring out what the story, like, how did this thing
Yeah.
get formed, right?
Yeah.
How did that layer get up higher and now it's breaking
Yeah.
off and whatever? It's
Yeah.
really good.
The main one I try to get smaller pieces, but also large pieces, and try to incorporate the curved crack like Eli was doing. You can see that
Yeah.
over here and over here as well. I'll probably do more throughout as well.
It's pretty exciting. Well, we can. The hope is, which sort of each week we show you progress as this evolves. So you can sort of see how it takes shape, goes from foam into rough clay, into finished clay, into a final piece, into paint. It's pretty exciting.
Yeah.
The someone was asking about grid. So because these kind of spin, because these are going to sit at funny angles often with each other, right? Because they because of the 120 degree, I'm still going to call it 60 nook. It's instead of a actual grid, it's more of a freeform grid where there's 1 inch, right? Everything is 1 inch. Sort of, there's 1 inch spots where you can put your minis, and then you can kind of orient it based on sort of where the rest of your master grid is.
And the drift stones are kind of doing that as well a little
Yep.
bit. Like,
It's like in the curved passages in caverns, right? Where there's 3 on the outside part of the curve. There's 3 quote unquote squares, like 3 sort of roughly 1 inch circles, and then on the inside there's only 2, because it's on a curve. So we're trying to keep the essence of the playable space, but they're not on a true grid because they're going off to 45 degrees.
yeah. And another thing we might try to do with this, the clear thing.
Yeah. It's which the underside. Yeah. Tell me.
Yeah. So since these pieces will be cast in clear, and since it's like relatively just ice and not like the rocks like we've doing before, like I think possibly if we put like lines on the bottom of the piece, and if it's cast in clear, you can get a sense of more
Depth and
more depth, but also that can maybe work into thing a little bit more grid. But like especially if you should be able to see some of these cracks on the bottom, and if you using a light or whatever underneath.
Well, it's one of the reasons. I have one of there. It's one of the things, like, so we don't want many of our pieces to have an indent on the bottom, and anchor magnets and prints. We're trying to have all that clear off the bottom because it's clear, you can see it through, and it messes up a lot of the illusion. So the hope is that it's just going to be smooth on the bottom with whatever cracks Toby's sculpting in on the bottom that you'll then see through the, change how the light refracts and stuff. So we'll see how that evolves. That is that's the wish list. It may, if it doesn't read, we obviously won't do it. If it gets too hard or whatever, we'll see.
But I'm hoping
Yeah.
it works, because especially if there's some that's like you can't see as much unless you use like light or something. It can give like interesting story elements, like
Yeah,
you don't realize a
deep
crack or
fissures
some,
into
like,
it.
some like
Yep.
nanospheres. It's just breaking up from underneath. I don't know. That'd be fun.
Yeah, hopefully get you guys excited. All right, so this is to be continued. We'll see how the ice forms up, and this is part of the process. Things could change a lot between now and next time you see it.
Yep.
Hopefully, we can show it again next week and see what happens.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Anybody have any questions for Toby? For a removable wedge that can sand a sandy sinkhole or ice crust, collapsing into a deep crevasse. An edible coin.
Isn't that just the gelts?
Yes,
Yeah.
it's totally Hanukkah guilt.
Yeah.
What kind of dressing can we expect besides cream? Oh, because ice and cream. See what they did there?
Banana split.
Yeah. How do you fight the intrusive thoughts of not just squishing the clay?
It's even harder now because we just switched back to the medium monster clay. For a while, we were doing the hard monster clay because back when we needed to ship the clay sculpts to China, or in fact,
Yeah,
their molding process, the medium was not good. But now, since we're scanning stuff, like it should make it easier to like sculpt on, and just that my
the
first
mediums
one-
is less effort than the hard.
yeah, but it just feels so different. So it just like everything just like feels much more squishable.
So you are squishing the clay.
Yes.
Yeah. You're not fighting the urge. What was the question? Great work, Toby. Looks beautiful. Stratus. Will the nesting also make open water between the ice? Yes, we'll look at the geometry again in a second. Recommend. Paul says, what percent perilous are you sculpting at now? Can you add 15%? Wait, what percent perilous are you sculpting at now? And can you add 15% more? What, can we add more?
To these?
I don't know, just in general.
Yeah. I mean, this one was supposed to be like the one I was figuring out the language with, so maybe on the bigger one there can be things, or these things like these probably will definitely have more the perilous percentage.
Well, I think he just means more pieces. He wants more of everything. Extra ice, extra of all. Yeah, these are.
I thought you meant danger. I like danger.
You have a fun job. Yeah. How are you going to be transparent? Will they not be made of dwarvenite? And thus, they're going to be transparent dwarvenite. Well, I guess it's translucent.
What are the chances for a dog sled? Not aware of a dog sled mini. You
Uh,
gotta look at the Balto tabletop. Game,
RPG.
actually. Yeah, there's a Balto miniatures game.
Oh, really?
We're
I'm looking
known
it up
for
right
pushing
now.
the envelope.
No, it doesn't seem to be.
Can you have fish on the bottom? Oh, that's an interesting, like etch a thoughtful touch. If you're etching,
Yeah, I was just thinking that thoughtful
Yeah.
touches before too, because I haven't done it as much as Eli does, and
that's
it'd
a
be
fun.
but yeah,
Yeah. Also, air bubbles or something. There's like some
Yeah.
interesting.
that's really cool.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, good idea.
It's gonna make it in. J. Carl. Toby's interpretation is correct. More peril. All right. Ooh. Needs swatches for people trapped beneath the view under the ice. Are the pieces designed for water scenery? Yes, these are going to be very friendly to putting on, popping on to terrain trays or water mats or whatever. Also, obviously, just at home, you can put them on the snow, or put them wherever you put them on your dungeon floor to make ice, but definitely intended to be floating around in the water. All right, thank you, Toby. It's always a
thank you.
pleasure
Yeah.
to show the process.
Yeah,
And
it's fun being
to be
on here,
continued
yeah.
for next week. And in a couple of weeks, whenever we get the last guy finalized, we're going to do a Toby intensive deep dive on driftstones, where you get to see all the, he's going to reveal all the secrets of the driftstones.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Yeah. Oh, is it compatible with the reliquariums? For
yeah,
modular
about-
water.
Yeah, modular water. Sculpting each molecule.
There does not seem to be any Balto tabletop game.
Oh, Chris led us
Yeah.
astray.
Cool.
All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you. Bye. Is off now.
Whatever. Yeah, doesn't matter. All right, so let's go. Do you want to look at? Do you guys want to look at? Show you a little of the geometry on the mocks, or do you want to look at some paint tests that Hamster was doing? Geometry or paint? Penguins and walruses. Yes.
Yes, yes,
Uh,
both.
You know, trying
Yeah,
to
nobody's gonna give you anything here. Just yes.
All right.
Paint. Okay, so 2 people have said paint now.
All right, let's do the paint.
See
That's
ya.
the only thing we've.
I mean,
had.
we're gonna do it all, but we just. Hi, Toby.
It's just which order.
Yeah. All right. So, because these aren't sculpted, so Vega, one of the things we've gotten better and better at in our creative process is being cognizant of whoever's downstream. So it used to be sculpts were just sculpted kind of in a vacuum in terms of color and often sometimes in terms of manufacture.
No.
And yeah, I know, hard to imagine. So sometimes we get downstream and we really run into trouble. And one of those troubles is if your texture isn't conducive to taking the paint, or if your sculpt warrants 17 different colors, it's going to just drive the price up. Like if you sculpt a whole bunch of different things that need different colors, it drives the price up a whole bunch. Or a thing doesn't read when it's paint, or it's uncastable. It's a whole other thing. But so in terms of paint, I've been really much better at making sure paint is a consideration during the sculpting process. So for these things, it was trying to. It's going to be a new texture. It's going to be a new whatever, and trying to figure out how is this going to take paint, particularly if we're trying to do smoother textures, right? In general, we want to be putting a lot of texture on, so you're picking up the dry brush. But if this is ice is supposed to be smooth, like how is that going to work? So Hamster did some tests on some. We had some stuff that was cast in clear, so he did some fun tests where, like, I don't know if you can see, there's like two different blues here, blue inks that he did, and then some white dry brush, and it wasn't like a eureka moment where you get it and you go, oh yeah, that's it. We figured it out. But it did illustrate. So sometimes having things that don't work is just as good as having a thing that works. So one of the things I realized sort of quickly was a heavy white dry brush kind of defeats the purpose of having it in translucent. Like you can almost not tell that this is translucent. Like if you're just looking at these sort of upper areas, like it loses some of the magic of being clear. So that was one good takeaway from this first pass. Also, he put there's some really cool iridescence on there. It's not the refraction. What is it? The interference.
Mm-hmm.
Right. He's got the blue interference on
You
there.
can kinda
The clear interference, and it just gives it that cool icy sheen. So that was like a absolute win. It looks even better in person because it has there's a blue to the sheen, which is really pleasing. Maybe you can see it.
Not a
Very
beam
close.
piece. These are just
These are
things that were grabbed.
These are
from-
existing pieces. So this is the waterfall. This is the waterfall. This was the Fey Wellspring, and this was one of the clear caverns pieces. So we're just looking for clear pieces that we had that were unpainted that he could try and test and see what we learned from textures and starting to throw paint on it. Like, is there anything we can learn before we're deep into painting? So this is not, these are not pieces that are going to appear in Paris. These are existing pieces that were unpainted that were just painted to do paint tests, right? To see if does the color, do we get anything from color in there? I think this was a test shot actually. Yeah, it's got the test shot numbers on it. And so we learned a little bit there. And this is kind of indicative of, this was actually, I think it was after Toby had the bottom idea, but when you invert it, it's really neat. Like seeing something underneath gives you a sense that maybe Toby's idea of etching texture underneath is going to work because it looks really cool, right? There's a sense of depth under there when you can see something deep under. So we'll see how that where that goes. So then test number 2 was he wanted to get something that felt smoother or flatter, closer to ice. So got a bunch of like plexiglass. I don't know where he got it from. He cut up a bunch of like plexiglass and glued it together, and then used that to try and let's come out here a second. Yeah, Mudkip, that's an interesting, right? There may be a world where the paint goes on the bottom and the top just has like interference or something, or I don't know. We'll see. That's where our head is just trying to explore, see what possibilities we can do with clear that looks kind of neat. So this was Hamster glued a bunch of plexi together to kind of have the sense of the shards, whatever, and then tried throwing some paint on it to see if we get anything that works. And the one thing that came out particularly nice was like really letting it be very clear, right? So this one is really neat because it's pretty clear, and then it's catching the edges with a little bit of white dry brush, and so it'll take on the sort of the character of whatever it's on it'll take on the character of. So that was pretty hardy. So once again, it seems like the less we put on there, often the better it is to really take advantage of the fact that it's in clear. Like by the time you get on here, it's like you don't see much. We're losing a lot of the reason for clear. And the other interesting learning was the lighter the blue color, it has more white in it, so it gets frostier, so you lose opacity the lighter the blue color. So we're definitely sort of in a blue color that's more of in this realm where it's like a cyan. So it's like that. So we'll see where it goes. But this is the process. It's just painting a bunch of nonsense to see if you get anything. And so then Toby also looked at this, and that was driving a lot of the sort of deep crevices that he was having in there. It was like, okay, that's gonna be a great spot for the wash to hit and have like a nice pop of color, and then the edges can catch things. So we'll see where it goes. But this is all fuel for him as he's sculpting of like what might the final look like, and how do we set it up for success by making sure there's the right amount of texture, or the right kinds of texture that will be conducive to how this is going to get painted. I don't think this is honestly this is right now our 2-step process. It's literally it's an ink wash and a dry brush. I guess 3 steps and an interference, but that one you can't mess up because it just looks good that you slather it all over. So I think I'm confident we'll find something that is executable. Any other paint questions before we? Yeah, it's gonna look really cool on light panel for sure. The pieces are the clear stuff tends to always be in that same clear, which is mostly clear with just the tiniest bit of blue. It's kind of like if you got any of our clear stuff, it's that same, I don't know, just ever so slightly blue clear, and then they tint it with ink washes. So if you get it unpainted, it'll be very clear. Any other questions? Watching these people, I think part of the collection should be the thing. That would be cool. It's a blue. It feels going to blend in with water.
So the sci-fi buildings aren't exactly the same aesthetic.
Yeah, it was very much Arctic bunker.
Yeah.
In the yeah.
It's a very different kind of building, though. You could probably repaint them to be a little closer.
Yeah, and dingy them up and like.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be really cool. Madam Roberta says, "I'm not so worried. We'll see when it is going to be a process, but the goal is that there's going to be some level of white dry brush on them probably. So I think between their they've got thickness, they've got texture, they've got color. I think they're going to pop really nicely on the water. So we will certainly test, and we'll show you as it evolves. I mean, that is a lot of the paint process is getting a bunch of stuff painted and putting it together and seeing like, how does it look? Is it, can we see the important things? Are they popping? Does the stuff look good? Like, does it read like what it's supposed to read like? So we will see. But the goal is that you can definitely tell that there are chunks of ice floating on the water. All right. Ice piece for the light puck would be neat. Ooh, red. Red underneath it. Get all Mustafari. All right. So look at back to the mocks. So a couple of the things. So besides the 60-degree angle, the other sort of important things we're poking at these was one that they play well with. It wants to play well with minis, and then also play well with the ice chunks, right? So it was key to make sure that there was like spots for the ice chunks to sit on these ones. This one's a little chunky, but it does fit up there, right? So they can kind of sit nicely. Right, all of this stuff has like plenty of places where you can pop it up on there, and in particular, like this one has the outline. It has the footprint. You see that, right? It has the footprint of this ice chunk, so that you can nest that on there really kind of nicely and happily, right? So a lot of being very conscious of being able to stack our existing pieces in the collection on here. And then on this one, it has where are all those spots? I can't remember all this. Did I mark it on there? No. So it had. Let's see. Like this is a spot that it nestles really nicely, inverted like that. It sits. I think that was one of the ones. Something like, yay, or was it on this one? I don't know. There's you'll find them as you play with it, but there's going to be a sort of 1,000 little spots where the things they'll line up and sit really cleanly and sort of happily together, and you should be able to kind of build intuitively, right? You'll just sort of be able to hopefully pop stuff where you want it to go, and it'll sit there real nicely. And then of course, as you guys were mentioning, they stack really nicely, right? So there's a lot of ways that this can go in 1,000 different ways on there without too much overhang, and then they stack with each other a bunch. And also because of the shared angles, like you can do fun stuff like that, right? Those line up real nice, or that lines up real nice. Not enough 60-degree angles. Exactly. And then they also nest on the outside, right? So these got a bunch of spots on the outside that the chunks can then nest, and of course you can break them apart very, very pleasingly because of the shared angles. Where's the right? You don't have to have them like a lot of times. Probably in practice, you'll have like big sheets. You'll have the stuff floating around, kind of free form, and there's sort of no wrong way to put them if they're not touching, or you can make this sort of the cracks as big or as small as you want. Yeah, Chuck. The goal was to have like 3 workhorse pieces that can kind of do a whole bunch. The other neat bit which we retained here is on the big chonker is you can put.
Will you sell the foam pieces? They look table ready in my games. We can give them away during the campaign.
Yeah, give away
If
some
you want the
mocks.
original foam mocks.
We've done that before.
Yeah.
So you can get your little. 3 is like a magic number, right? A small, medium, large tends to make for a good family.
Mm-hmm.
It's sort of like they can kind of each have a distinct role. Packs work together. It is definitely works really nicely. So the goal here is that you were big enough to fit a 4x4. I should go a little wider. Wrong. Big enough to fit a 4x4 with some playable space on there, which means, of course, you can put any. It doesn't have to be a house, right? You can put a lot of things. You could actually put another 2x4. It would be overhanging just a spickle, but you could put another 2x4 on here and have a 4x6. So playable space with a 2x4. With that, look at it. It's the Balefire torch. Then we got Oh, biscuits. Plenty of room for a nice 4-inch tower, right? Lots of playable space. The 4-inch tower there. Boom, 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 boom. Oh yeah, magma. Oh, like rock chunks floating on. Is it a lava flow? If it's rock chunk, is it FLOE?
Lava flows are a thing. Yeah.
Or like those rock chunks on magma would be really. That's a good one. That's a really good. I like that. Yeah, I'm excited to someday go back to Hellscape and flesh that out a little bit. And then Eli was like, "Hey, can you get what happens if you put a 6-inch on there?" And we are just on the edge of sanity here. So it's essentially can get it on there. It's angular a tiny bit in a few spots, but like fundamentally you can get a big 6-inch tower on there.
It's good enough.
Yeah, it fits. And then you can, if you wanted some playable space, you nest some of these other guys in there, and you got, now you can get in and do a thing. But it's definitely there's enough space that you will be able to build lots of stuff on here. So Merc, these will be flat, but they'll obviously be like you saw where Toby was going. The surface is fundamentally flat, but there's a lot of uneven areas under there depressed down. But the top will be flat. The idea is it's very, very build friendly. Like we want to be able to put stuff on top of these, but you can always go down, and that lets you break it up without breaking the plane, so you can build on it. Are there any plans to sculpt pieces that will work with castles or towns, such as ice window inserts or snow mounds that you can fix to roofs to give your buildings ice? That's a good question, Perfect Dungeon. We have a few things that are friendly to some of the other systems. The primary focus of Perilous is fleshing out these brand new biomes, like having them be complete and standalone. But there's definitely some thought about some compatibility bits, and there's some things that work in Perilous that also then stuff that you can use to kind of say add ice to some of your Arctic stuff can also be used to add ice to like your castle or your city or whatnot. So it's fine. Hey, that looks kind of nice. We put the ice chunks up around it. Like that's an adventure waiting to happen. But I will say that the lion's share of the focus is on making these brand new biomes as complete as they can be, more so than making these an extension of cities or dungeons or the like. But we got some stuff.
All right, what are we gonna do for a giveaway?
Ooh, I don't know. What's will it be dangerous flat? Yeah. Will I be able to have palace windows?
We are planning for terrain trays and mats. Yeah.
Gilded poison. What would you want to put in the pole holes, in the cracks? I'm always trying to put pole accessory holes everywhere, but I want to know what you'd put in there.
All right, you want a chance to win a $50 Dwarven Forge gift card? Go ahead and type Dwarven Fudge, all one word,
Dwarven Fudge,
into chat. Dwarven Fudge, which we've probably used before, I don't know, but go ahead and put it in there.
Opa, there are definitely we have a robust collection of terrain trays and texture mats for this, for sure. Holy moly, Dwarven Fudge is pouring in.
Ugh.
All one word.
Yeah, all one word.
It's kind of amazing how it just absolutely destroys all.
Oh, it destroys
chat.
any
like there's
any
just
chance
any.
of
It's
us.
gone.
Yeah. Yeah, any semblance of a functional
Sanity.
Yeah, she's gone.
Yeah. There's gonna be some fun.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool.
What else is there? Is that everything for?
I can show. I want to show the.
I guess this was the geometry
The-
part, wasn't it?
Yeah, I want to show the how the driftstone works with it. And then oh, and I have these. Yeah, and then we'll see. I don't know. See what the people say. 3 mats from Dungeons Reforged are exceptional. Thanks, really.
Yeah.
Hey, what do you enjoy about your 3 Fudging Dwarves? What do you enjoy about your texture mats? And did you get gridded or non-gridded? That's a big question. Pole holes for traps and danger pieces from Wildlands. Yeah, trip line or the swinging spikes. Yep. No, that's really good. Don't think we've forgotten about that tree. What tree? I don't know what you're talking about. One time I got an ice terrain tray and it was gloriously effective about 4 more. You know what? We did a satin run and I don't know if it was labeled. Yeah. They were the coolest ones, the satin finish one. And I don't know how they got sorted, if they had a different SKU or whatever, but it was, yes. Grid wars will never go away. I say gridded, non-gridded, non-gridded, gridded, gridded, grid wars, non-gridded. Oh, that is like a straight up 50-50 split. That's just the worst.
Do you want to turn your log back on real quick?
Yeah, see if it.
So I can briefly test something.
Uh-oh. We're in the science portion of this broadcast?
Yeah,
I am green.
I think I reprogrammed it.
Green, green, green. Bird is the word. One ruler to rule them all.
Okay, so let's
Teardrop,
see.
trap, insert, and desert would be.
All right, go ahead and talk.
Cool. Testing, test. Test.
How does this?
Cyberhawk is asking about teardrop trap inserts. You know, we got nothing but negative feedback about the teardrop inserts, so I don't think we're gonna put
Any of our floors. Terrain trays, no, don't take grid, but we're talking about texture mats. Texture mat grids. Gridded for your mini pleasure. Love grids. Real RT, I didn't see if you responded to why you liked the texture mats. Bundle ice chunks plus modular sinking fantasy Titanic. Right, it writes itself. The grid still blown out. Gridded, and you really gridded. Oh, gridded seems to be pulling ahead. Ask Eric about gridded train trays. Yeah. No, they were. Yeah, I drew my own lines. Yeah, get a ruler and a Sharpie. You love it. All right, so the other
So what I was starting to show, and that is very pleasing. It wraps around. Yeah, a little house on the ice fishing hut. The mats have the texture and the prints you guys have come up with really pop. Cool. Yeah. I saw one of them I saw them in one of your DF videos and they looked amazing. What was he talking about?
Like the water texture. Is he blown out now?
Testing. I like the water texture. They're beautiful. They're pretty. The texture mats are good for quick scatter builds. That's a question. What size?
Is there a world in which people would want a 3x3 versus 2x2? So, and if you say 3x3, if you're saying yes to 3x3.
I'm glad we did
I like the less glossy gridded overlay for the terrain trays.
I'm glad we did all those texture mats with Dungeons Reforged. I know, like the lava one was a request that Merc had made like 2 years before or something. We just kind of uses it as an excuse to do a lot of trays and stuff that we didn't really need to do, but wanted to do.
4x6 rabbit. 3x3, yes, all sizes 3x3 gridded. Detective Tease, is that Detective 27's little nephew? 3x3, both sizes 3x3, 3x3. Would not get 3x3. Too small for rabbit. It's a big. Isn't Wildlands is a biome already on 3x3s? The Wildlands texture mats are 2x2, 3x3. What's a standard gaming table, Lysander? What's the size of a standard gaming table? 4x6 is great. 24 by 24, 3 by 3 by 3. Oh, a cube. 2 by 2 with the current size limit is, yeah. Why is that your current size limit? Is it is the size of your table making compatible with escarpments? Rated 5 by 7 piece in hex is stock. Bigger is better, I think, for a build. Match should be large. Too small does not multiply up to 4 by 6. It's the best. So I was thinking sculpted floors. Oh no, we could not do a 3 foot by 3 foot sculpted floor. That would be, how would we ship that? 2 by 2 on my table. Table size limit.
By truck.
Yeah.
I assume. We'd have to deliver it
5
like a
by
table.
8. Did I miss dwarven fudge? Sounds tasty. Dwarven fudge is the secret giveaway word. A rectangle and a square. Interesting.
6x4 is traditional standard gaming table for war games.
Yep. Very nice. Legion uses a 3 by 6. Interesting.
Right, because then Shatterpoint is 3x3.
Yeah, big mats are good.
Table is 10 foot by 4 foot. We would not produce
10
that.
foot.
Woo! We wouldn't produce that.
It's interesting. I hadn't thought about small texture patches are not, they're the same top material, but they have a little backing, a cardboard backing.
Mm.
Typically, skirmishes are typically 2 by 2 or 3 by 3. Totally. I hadn't thought about rectangles, but that's an interesting. 2 foot by 3 foot is a sweet spot. I often find that's like the. I hadn't thought, like rectangles are. I often want larger than a 2 by 2, but I can't do a square. Like 2 by 3 is.
Yeah, once you go up,
is a magic.
once you go up to a 3x3, it's like you're making the build over twice as large as the 2x2 was.
Yeah.
So it's yeah.
Yeah, but you can fit. It's also fitting on many tables are rectangular, so that extra width, like there's not enough room for all the.
Which is why 4x6 is perfect. Now that's twice 2x3.
Rabbit is that the best? Oh, it's Ivy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Blood texture from Cult as a texture mat. That would be cool. Necrotic sludge as a texture mat would be also cool. 2 by 3 fits on a coffee table or dining room table. Can be doubled up for larger tables. That's true.
It depends on what your goal is, I guess. Really, like
Yeah.
because when it comes to RPGs, you can make them whatever size you want, really, and it's fine. War games, you're talking about set battlefield sizes.
We can cut them up. I love Amy is like just dig it out the power tools and go. This is it. I'm like, yeah.
I don't know how many people would want to.
No, but I love the spirit, as I'm the same way. Make it your own and do your thing. All right, I was gonna show I was gonna show things. One, I don't know if it's interesting. This was sort of the evolution of this mock started here, and I realized it didn't have. So this was in the Ice Family world. It wasn't playable at all. Right, I had like a little flat spot, but it wasn't playable, and it didn't really block line of sight super meaningfully, and I didn't feel like the footprint was all that interesting. Like I was trying to look for like a kind of a classic iceberg shape. I looked for big ice chunks and found a neat silhouette I liked, and then tried to translate it to a miniature thing, but it felt like it didn't translate. So on round 2, I baked in a playable elevated area. Made the whole thing a little bigger so it blocks more line of sight, and then kind of tried to give it a more interesting silhouette. And then the other really key thing that I realized when I was playing with it, I was like, oh, I wanted to kind of have it make sure it played with these ice walls, and it wasn't sort of conducive in that way. So part of the drive on here was to make having two flat spots so that you could build these the ice walls up against it, and then use it to sort of chain together or whatever. / once you have a flat spot, you can build anything up against it. So kind of example of you got to get a first thing to sort of see why it doesn't, like what's not resonant, what feels funny, and then you can you iterate till you get something that lands.
Let's roll the giveaway.
Yeah, roll the fudge.
Fudge the roll.
Forge cutting shears.
Ray Raven,
Hey, congrats.
congratulations.
All right,
Let's see,
so
pretty sure
back
you
to
won
our
before.
60 degrees. Uh, it's 60 times 2. So this was the so this is the hexagon based driftstone profile that or footprint that Toby worked out, and it has a couple of really neat nesting capabilities where it can it can tile with itself on these. It's got 2 really good flat ones there that also have biscuits, and then it has the nook here that also is the inverse of that angle, and then it has, I guess this guy is also a 60, and this has another biscuit over there. So there's a whole bunch of really neat tileable possibilities with these, and then inverted, it's going to play really nicely with all these ice flow bits. So you can do some fun stuff where you build these in line and then use them as like a base for some floating. Oh yes, Stay Awake Games, you missed the giveaway and the word. It was Dwarven Fudge. We just rolled it. So by having both of them, by everybody on that same angle, we're going to have a lot of fun ways you can kind of build stuff in line. Even though it's scattery, it lets you. I don't know. You're going to have a lot of fun compatibility with it.
The Wyverstone pieces will not be clear. No.
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 They will be in 2 paint schemes though. They will be in Arctic and in Desert, but they are not going to be clear. That would be wild. Yeah. No, that would be a thing. Just drawn. The 50th anniversary, totally. Craft hammer made of dwarvenite. It would be it wouldn't really be too soft. Oh, pesky work. Sorry you have to work on me. It's so nice. Arctic's how I painted mine originally. Cool. I'd love to see pictures. Gilded poison. Perfect ice. Ice is with ice and nest around the piece in a 360. It doesn't. Oh yeah. So we'll show you about the standing Finley. It won't nest perfectly all the way around. Although I bet you could. I only have one of each of these mocks, so I don't think. But I bet you could. Let's see. You could get the guy. You could get pretty close. I bet if I use the chunks. Yeah. It's. I mean, there's a couple of little cracks and holes here and there, but yeah, you can pretty. Yeah. It will be therapeutic. Yeah, and then you can have these clustered. You could have ice with Wyverstone clustered in between.
That's definitely close enough.
Yeah, there's gonna be this family's gonna play very nicely together.
Not like mine.
Like ice crushed against an island. So ice will be cast in clear, but snow and sand will be regular dwarvenite. So that's a very good question, Grandpappy. So any of the stuff that's going to be in 2 colors will be cast in solid, and then just the ice family. So most of the Arctic will be cast in opaque because it'll be snow. These were specifically ice pieces to be cast in clear that will be part of the Arctic biome, but will be their own sort of separate ice family. Any of the stuff that's snow or rock like this will be cast opaque, same casting color, so we can for our casting. Good question. You're floating ice mountain. Release date in July? No, release date later this year. We have May. Caverns Reforged will launch, and then when that ends, we'll let you know the launch of Perilous will kind of be contingent on the end. Like we got to just go from one into the next, so that'll kind of drive the launch a little bit. The ice floes will likely not have magnets, correct? So they look nice and clear. Any just clear caves? No, we're not going to do. Currently, not planning on casting any of the cavern stuff in clear as part of this campaign. It's all new sculpts currently. All right. So the question I'm catching up on was for the driftstones. So Toby very cleverly. So one thing that's nice about the driftstones is besides floating, they can be used to scatter like this, right? And previously, the driftstones had to be held up by a stand. Oh, too high for. In order to use them inverted, but oh boy, remember those prototypes?
Yep. It's probably still not as
Yeah.
bad as the resin ones, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
So Toby figured out a way that we can get these have a built-in kickstand. So there's 4 of the shards, I guess, all end up at the same height that you can sort of see in profile, so that it'll stand on its own. So then you can use it right to build on whatever. You can put ice sheets on it or whatnot, float stuff up. There's going to be gives you a lot of fun, easy building possibilities without using stands. And then, of course, with the stands, things get livelier and livelier. And of course, you can also use one on the ground as a. Do I have 2 here? I don't think I have 2.
Yeah, you can still do it the way that they were in Wild
You can
Lands.
invert. You can have one on the bottom. All right, you can have one on the bottom as stand, and the other one floating on the top, over like that. Yeah.
So that means you can use these stands for the old driftstones as well, if you'd like.
Yeah, we're gonna give you some. We're gonna give you some options. And I'm not gonna show the whole Driftstone family here yet. We'll do in a couple of weeks when we have everything in hand to show. We'll do a deep dive episode with Toby. We'll walk through all of the Driftstone family. But it is it's pretty neat. There's also I forgot about this. I do have a second one. I just was blind. Let's look at it.
Cool.
They'll be compatible with stands, yes, and they will come with stands, yes. So you can have like the one driftstone support the other, and this is the same diameter rods from the driftstones in Wildlands, so you can mix and match also as you see fit. Hellscape driftstones would be really cool. Arctic ones will come in desert variety, yes.
Yeah, these sculpts are in both biomes.
Yes.
Most of the stuff that's cast opaque is in both biomes.
I'll just show this guy is another. This is part of the Driftstone family, and guess what? 60 degrees. So then that guy's gonna nest really well with the rest of this family. So you can do some. You'd be able to do some fun building there. All right, boom, bada boom. Pop that guy in there. Yeah. Boop, boop, boop. You know what? 60 was 180 minus 120. It's the other side of the angle. That's where the 60 was coming from in my brain. That's why I wrote it down.
You still just trying to.
I'm trying to understand why I'm yeah. Yeah, I can't get that off.
It's technically.
Right, if you take the 180 line, you do the 60. It gives you the 120. This guy is a base rock. It's got a little vertical hole there. So, bloop. Floating in and out. Gilded poison. Very excited about the ice flows. Awesome. Well, here's the 60-degree cutout exactly. The good news is the ice bits will all be in their own packs. There'll probably be a pack of the flows and a pack of the chunks. There'll probably be 2 separate packs, but they will be a very sort of easy to snipe pack if you want to get, or packs, right? 2 packs you can get. Maybe there'll be a mega that combines them or whatever, but if you just want to swoop in and grab those, you get as many as you want. Yes. Yes, the 60 degrees is the central point of the angle for the 6 triangles of the hexagon. Yes, also true. This is why 60 is in the brain. Uh-oh, storms in Delaware. Are the clear rods going to be the same length as the existing? To be determined. Right now, yeah, we'll let you know. So there's yeah, we had, I think they were 4, 5, and 6 inch. What is this? Or 5, 5, 4. This is the 5. This is the long one. So maybe it was 5, 4, and 3. Currently we have a 5 inch, a 4 inch, and a 3 inch. And we have Toby has a little stand system, so that'll affect it. So we will see. Right now we're using the existing lengths, but we may have to adjust. So we're trying to be very cognizant of being able to hit 1 inch increments, so that you can, for ease of building, for lining stuff up, and also sort of ease of measuring at the table. And also you want to be able to get up like high. You want to be able to verticality, like you can never have enough. So we're really trying to make we're making a good effort to make a lot of really interesting, really easy to go high vertical play. But to be determined if there would be additional lengths beyond 5 inches. But we'll, one way or another, we'll let you get to higher heights than 5 inches. One way or another. We have one ice driftstone already. No, yes, there was a Grimorna the Hag, or Grimorna the Frigid's personal driftstone from Caverns Deep was ice. That was, and I don't think we ever reprinted that. That was in the adventure pack. It was like a one with ice on the top. Amy has a good question, which is clear dwarvenite more difficult to make? Only because you have to clear the entire system out. Like you have to clear all the pipes, clear the molds, clear everything, and then do a couple of test shots to get it all like out of the system. So it's like the switchover is a pain. So particularly if you're doing something like the pain with Hellscape was we were using the same molds, but they all had to be flushed and clean, like the whole system to do it in the translucent casting color for Hellscape. So generally you want to keep stuff to one casting color if you can. It's a good question. We currently we have ice and sand escarpments are not currently on the docket. We are doing dunes, yeah. That's what I was saying there.
Oh, that's wild. It's like Underdoom on the bottom and then ice on top.
What is?
Grey Morna's Drift.
Yeah. It was like frosted over on the top because she generates cold, so
it's
it was like
in the
cold.
Underdoom encounter. That's so specific.
It was in the adventure pack for that encounter, and it only appeared once. And yeah,
so specific. Is it just the same Driftstone sculpt as the regular Underdoom Driftstone?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just a different paint job, and it had like extra shiny purple on it, I think. There's going to be what did Draga say? Like he lives his life, a freeform grid sculpted into the ice flows, because the ice flows are going to be sitting at a lot of funny orientations. They're not always going to be orthogonal, especially because the way they nest, they'll always be off by like 60 degrees. It'll be more of a freeform grid, often like seen in some of the caverns pieces. I'll take 20. Let's see. Ice other way around actually. Transition pieces. A grass woof. The only transition. Well, the most obvious transition piece that we have planned, you got to see last week, or at least the front portion of it, is Cave Mouth. Right, so we have a cave mouth for the dunes that lets you go into a cave. So that is being designed to transition really nicely into standard caverns for desert or ice caverns for ice. What will make Rhino sad? Was the question was, are you thinking about a new texture mat? Yes, new texture mat designs, yes. All yes. New texture mats, new terrain trays, yes. This will make sense. The current plan on the ice floes is that they will be 8 inches thick. They'll be 8 inches thick. They will be 8 millimeters thick. So they will be about 2/3 the height of regular floors. With the logic being that visually we want them to feel like they're lower, right? Particularly sunken, like the ice, we're coming down from the shore down to sinking ice, right? For the effect. But build wise, if you're putting like a dock or transitioning something on them, if it's at a slight angle, I think you can still build on it. Like I don't think there's going to be a lot of building challenges this will develop based on, like, they don't cleanly build in line with floors, right? There's always going to be some sort of gap, so then I think you can have a little bit of an angle. But I don't know if you how do you anticipate it being a problem?
Yeah, it's not a big enough difference to make anything unstable.
And if you're building on them, they'll be nice and level.
Yeah.
Thoughts on 12x12 textured battle boards? Yes, we have thought about them for sure. No transitions is sad right now. We have at least one good solid transition. I feel like you go snow to mud, dirt, grass. So let's transition more intermediate bits. Yeah.
That's
Custom
why we
paint.
can't do transitions between everything. It's too much.
Paul wants 8-inch thick flows. Backdrops. Yes, that would be super cool. Agree, Amy. Be neat to do backdrops. Feels weird having different heights is going to cause headaches down the road. What headaches? I'm not wrong. We brainstormed through it and like couldn't come up with anything that seemed like it would be a common place, but where I don't know. Show me an example where you think it might be. We might be running into trouble.
Yeah, the main thing is just that they're not meant to build in line, and they're not like they're scatter pieces. They're not.
Yes.
There's nothing that relies on them being lined up with something vertically.
Or horizontally, or
Yeah.
On the vertical axis.
I suppose built on top of each other next to a cliff, but like, are you gonna be doing that? I guess is the thing. Are you gonna be stacking a ton of ice floes? Like they can really only stack like 3 high, which puts them at an even 2 inches.
I mean, you could stack them 4 high or something. I mean, no, you could there's no limit to. This is the thing. If we're building a bunch and discover we keep running into trouble, then we'll adjust them. But we'll just start there. Question is, are there going to be anything like icicles like ivy? Got it. Just use ledges and scatter for transitions. Oh, that's a good one. Did I miss anything above metal battle boards? Can you scroll up for a sec? The
Step and tundra
frozen
mats.
mammoth dressing.
Are the heights of the flows the same as the height of the center of, say, the paths?
Yeah. Maybe a sprinkle lower because I don't think the paths are that depressed. I think it's a little lower than that. We'll show you when we got some. We'll get it when we get something in hand. Steps and tundra mats, transition to wildlands. Possibility metal battle boards. So we're talking about textured battle boards, Paul. So that they would have that sculpted texture.
12 by 12.
Ice flows on top of each
Chunk
other
of
next to
solid
a
metal.
cliff. Gilded poison. Yeah, you'd have to stack a lot to get up. Like, Well, right now floors don't stack up cleanly to the height of a cliff either, right? Well, the reason, Matt Roberts, is the reason is aesthetics, right? The reason is to try and create a scene, to create the sense of they're smaller and flatter. And wanted to also look like if you put it in something outside, like if you put them in your cavern or your dungeon or your castle floor or whatever, kind of have it feel lower, like it's a sheet of ice more so than a floor. That was the intention. Now they want to stack them higher. But you could, so if you're at 8 millimeters, yeah, it's six of them gets you to 48, which is almost the height of a cliff. It's better than, it's the same as 4 floors, I guess, which, no, because 4 floors, they're about 11. So it's actually better. So they will stack better than floors if you're trying to get up to a 50 millimeter cliff.
Oh.
The argument that they'll never be built in line works against the idea that they need to be shorter than floors. Especially if you're already using banks to transition down to the water, coming to the ice flows, then they'll be taller than the shore.
But they'll still be lower.
No,
than
they'll be lower
base
than the banks.
floor. I mean, yeah, like the edge
Yeah.
of the bank that tapers down will be gone. It's just there's no actual use case for it that seems like it would come up. Like, yeah, even if you're talking about scaffolding between 2 buildings, even in the case where you're wanting to scaffold something,
If you want to put a cool dock out onto the ice, it just tilts a couple of millimeters.
that's the thing. Like a 4 millimeter
Yeah.
difference is nothing really.
Mad Robotics, you're not wrong that if everything, like the beauty of Starforged is everything is half-inch thick, so no matter what you do with it, it's going to line up. You're definitely not wrong there. Like that was definitely one of the strengths of Starforged is that's it. You just turn stuff any which direction and like it always lines up and it is truly magical, which is very satisfying and sets us up for a lot of sort of unknown successes in the future. The problem we have in our fantasy line is that our floors are already at a weird, right? They're already between 11 and 12 millimeters. So there's no relation between the floors and like stacking up, say, to 50 millimeters. And like we don't have sort of good core geometries to start with. So a lot of that stuff is already somewhat moot. I mean, obviously, we're gonna mess around when we test them. If it feels like they're not compatible, we'll adjust them. But we will see. What did I missed? It's going too fast. Any Destination Fantastic ice pieces? No.
Those aren't really produced.
Stefan's not a part of any of the creative process. And, those are fantastical. Like we're trying to create sort of more reality-based fantasy stuff that's useful for a huge variety of Arctic type encounters, and that stuff also doesn't translate to sand at all. Like it's such a weird specific aesthetic that it's just sort of become, it's like its own kind of weird animal. So no, the intent here was to create 2, like a lot of the DF stuff where it's specific but generic, right? It's sand, but you could use it for a beach or a desert or an alien planet, or I don't know what else. What else do you have? Sand, a wasteland, a desert, a shore, a jungle, yada yada. Probably wouldn't build in line. Yeah, but also like, so Mudkip, you like, this is like this shape is never going to build in line with with our floors are square, right? So there's no way to square this up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, tropical forests and yeah.
It's
So
the thing,
like
it's like sure
yeah,
it's not fixing the scale difference between the floors or whatever, but it's not causing any harm either. It's mostly just irrelevant.
yeah. Well, let's
Well, yeah,
like all
we'll
of
see
our
if it comes up
stuff.
in
We're
vote.
gonna test it. We're gonna build it. We're gonna play with it. Like believe me, before it gets to you, there'll be a ton of building to make sure that things are. We're getting to sort of do the you can picture a thing and then you can build it and it works. Like that's the goal.
Yeah.
Exactly. Build and see. Build and see. We will discover. You say I'm just gonna get the scissors out to square it up. I'm gonna send Ivy a hacksaw. It would be the best.
Rebuild Tatooine. That'd be
Yeah.
well.
Yeah,
guess we
I
don't
mean
really have quite
Tatooine's
the-
just a bunch of sand.
Yeah, we just don't really have like the kind of buildings for it, but we can just use like the
Yeah.
Shatterpoint terrain, I guess.
The Shatterpoint with that's a cool compatibility, like those
Yeah.
those buildings in a
We
bunch
have
of
all
sand.
those. And the way Hampshire
Yeah.
painted them are very Sand Planet, so
Yeah.
we can just drop them
Going to
there.
Sand Planet.
Yeah.
We can also do the
Can you imagine if you called all the planets just Sand
Sand
Planet?
Planet. I mean, it's basically there. Right? Alternate sand color dome. Oof. Yeah, Sand Planet's like it's the sister, it's the moon to Ham Planet. They're related. What else in ice? I'm trying to think what else we got. We showed the
You showed a glimpse of something.
showed
That...
showed where the colors going. We showed what I didn't show was the other. Here's the other fun bits. And maybe this is to Mudkip and Mad Roboticist. Maybe there's a world. So one of the things is these are very friendly to building on with a bunch of our big chunky bits, right? See how this chunker fit. Boop. So there is a world maybe where no, because the biscuit's got flex. Say if you were trying to build a ice bridge right from that, like out on the ice to floor using a span. I don't know if to try it. I think there's enough flex in the biscuit that a couple of millimeters wouldn't cause a problem, but we will see. We will see. Buy a second set and run it through the table saw. Exactly.
The ice trees.
Sand gets everywhere. We showed a glimpse of a tree. I'm gonna wait till we have the full. We'll give you a deeper dive into the trees at some point. We gotta get a couple of things together before we show you that. To really get it complete. What was the other thing I was gonna show you? There was something else. It's killing me. Something about
Was it, do you remember the general gist of it?
No,
You
I don't know.
remember the
It was one of
rocks
the.
and
There was something about design. I don't know.
Did you want to show them the ice worm?
Yeah. Chris is trolling. Kid.
Yeah, that was just a joke.
A yolk. A little.
Is there a bit of blue-green in the
chocolate
ice like
cookie.
Alaska icebergs?
The ice is probably going to be close in color to these, so because we want people to be able to play with these and have it all be part of like a larger family. So we'll see. There are some crazy colors of ice, so like stuff you wouldn't even believe. You can see a world where there'd be an ice edge piece that allows you to put an ice floe up against a flat wall, like an ice floe trifecta. Yeah, that would be kind of neat. What would you use it for? Modular block of ice. That was the reason. Savo Longits, the reason these were left hollow rather than sealed was so that you could put a mini in there. And that's also why the bottom kicks out on this side, so there's enough room to get the 25 mil base in there. So you could trap a mini in ice. So yes, it was good thinking. For a sunken modular boat, amazing. Look great in ice caverns, totally. Sand that turned into glass due to blue dragon breath, very cool. See a world where there'd be an ice edge piece that allows you. Oh yeah, place ice flow. That's what we're talking about. Castle rising from the sea in the Arctic would be super cool. Yeah, the compatibility builds are gonna be really really fun. Modular ice prison, like Crystal Caverns prison. Oh, I'm gonna sneeze. Maybe.
I think I got it.
Did you?
I think I got it.
Form of an ice bucket. Larger scale for dragons. Dragon scale. We need slightly tapered blocks so folks can build their own igloos or barges. Or a polar bear or walls. Yeah, if you could actually stack these to make ice forts, that would be fun. What else do we
Well, I don't know what you want to keep a secret.
yeah.
That's the main thing. I don't want to start throwing stuff out
whatever.
there.
We just I'm not gonna show anything else. So we showed the driftstone and the stepped base lightly. We'll deep dive in those when we get the whole complete set. So we got a couple beans out there. They got to see sculpt in progress. Got to see evolution of the mocks. Yeah, I don't know. We should maybe just call it. We can call it a few minutes early.
All right.
There's a rare. Oh, we could build the wall
Rare
from
shorty.
like Game of Thrones. Woof. That would be like thousands of dollars a dwarf night. It's like build like a 700-foot high wall of ice.
People have done it, you know.
Hmm. How many inches is 700 feet in D&D scale?
How many inches is 700 feet?
Well,
Okay,
100.
so it's 700 divided by 5. Oh, wait, no, feet.
Yeah, well, yeah. So 700 feet divided
Wait,
by 5.
700. I mean, 700
yeah,
feet is
divided
going to
by
be the same amount of
5.
inches no matter what.
That's
So how many
100
squares?
So it's 120 inches, right? Is that right? 140. Thanks,
No, it'd be 120 squares.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
you're talking about
squares an
square
inch.
inches.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
because I was going to
squares.
say, like,
Yeah,
it would still be
140.
700 times 12 if you're talking inches. All right.
Yeah, he's got it. I can't add. Huh. Yeah, that would be a big. How many feet is that's 10? It's almost. That's
Or no,
almost.
700 divided by 5 is
14 feet.
140
12 feet.
squares. It's 140 squares. 120 would be 600 feet.
Right? Yeah, 100 is. Pink Floyd's The Wall. That's amazing. Yeah, I don't think that's realistic. A small door. There's only room for one.
Small floating door.
12 feet high of ice, like Turks' amazing
It would actually
tower.
be really easy to make that social post. We just take one of the like double door pieces or just one of the regular cave doors and we just take it out and just put it in the water and then have two little minis.
No, just
It-
one mini on it,
one
one in
mini?
the water, right? Because that was the whole thing. Is
Yeah,
she's
that's
like,
fair.
you can't fit. There's
Yeah.
like, is this like 10-foot long door?
You have to
He's
die,
like,
Jack.
There's no
Yeah,
room
she
here.
just-
I'm
she
like,
just chose that.
I've got my luggage. I can't
Yeah.
can't jettison you.
It would
It'd be
be
really
proper.
funny.
Yeah, it's
It would be
Terrible.
improper.
terrible.
A LARP made of DF. You can burst through it like the Kool-Aid Man. Cool. So tomorrow night, hamsters hamsting.
No, he's done with the month.
No?
I think.
He's done. He's no
He's done for the month because he's got to be.
Oh, he's moving.
He's moving, and
That's
then
right.
it's Adepticon, so he's off for the month.
All right. So, but we will be back next week for our last stream before Adepticon.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So probably more perilous, and then after Adepticon, we can start talking about Caverns Reforged.
Yeah.
Should be exciting. Yeah.
Or maybe we'll say everything next week.
Yeah.
You'll have to show up to find out.
Right. Anything could happen. You never know.
We could announce the
could
third
be-
project.
There could be another project.
We could announce the Metal Miniatures
We could
Kickstarter.
the modular boats Kickstarter. No
Modular
one's
boats?
expecting
Metal boats. There'll be modular metal boats.
lead.
Lead boats.
We're gonna go back to casting in lead. It's
You're gonna make lead balloons.
well, all the EPA regulations have been lifted, so we can just cast in lead now.
Yeah. Yeah, we're bringing Where Heroes Dare back, baby.
Yeah. Oh.
Leprechaun Stream. Oh
Uh,
wait, is it gonna be?
Is it
No.
Lucky Charms?
When's is it Lucky
is it Lucky
Charms Day?
Charms?
So you're gonna
Yeah. Right here. Caverns Reforged. That is correct. Coming up
no
in May.
Tuesday the 17th, so it won't be next
Ah.
Wednesday.
Cover Stevens.
Did you hear Kevin's Reforged? Yes, Kevin's Reforged is happening.
It is happening. Well, thank you all. Appreciate lots of good questions tonight. Lots of good engagement. We always appreciate it. It really is fun. And we'll see you next week.
Yeah.
With no technical problems.
All right. Well, goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Goodbye.